All rise. The United States District Court is now in session. The Honorable Cristina Armijo presiding.
Color guard, forward march. Color guard, post the colors.
Please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch, where so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now our keynote speaker, Miss Norma Panetta.
Good morning. Bienvenidos. Welcome. I would like to welcome each and every one of you to Salinas Pueblo Missions National Monument. We are honored you chose this beautiful place today to spend one of the most important days of your life and to share your victory with us. We are inside La Purísima Concepción de Quarai, or the Immaculate Conception of Quarai. This mission church is one of the 4 best preserved 17th century missions in the continental United States. It was one of the first places where 2 unique cultures combined and it was the very beginning of the melting pot we have in America today. On behalf of our superintendent, Tom Betts, and the entire Salinas Pueblo mission staff, we want to thank the following: the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, Western Parks and Monuments Association, the Mountain Air Rotary Club, the Friends of Salinas Pueblo Missions, our singer Betty Nelson, the Edgewood Eagle Scout Troop 640, our guest speakers, Torrance County Sheriff Martin Rivera, State Outreach Director for U.S. Martin Henrich's office, Mike Sullivan, Salinas Pueblo Missions Park Guide, Mert Sullivan, Torrance County Clerk's Office, Yvonne Otero, the Town of Mountain Air Mayor, Peter Nieto, and the Native American group, Isleta del Sur Dance Group. The Isleta del Sur Dance Group and Pueblo has very close ties to this place. Their ancestors, the very first Americans, built this church. They manufactured pottery, they grew crops, and they performed their sacred ceremonies here. Like their ancestors, the Isleta del Sur Dance Group will perform for you later this morning. The director of the Cultural Center at Isleta del Sur, Rick Quesada, is here to share a few words with you before their performance later this morning. For the first time, 2 years ago, I stood in awe with a lump in my throat when I saw a naturalization ceremony. The look in each new citizen's eyes was so beautiful. They were so excited. It was a look of accomplishment, a look of relief, and a look of excitement. I wondered what each person that took the oath that day had gone through to get to that point. I started researching and realized it wasn't an easy task. It took years of time, hard work, and effort. I may not know all the obstacles you endured, the hardships, the victories, but I do know that it was a monumental task, and I congratulate each and every one of you for your major accomplishment. I was born a U.S. citizen, and for me it was easy. I didn't have to leave my country. I didn't have to prove myself on paper. I didn't have to go to the unknown. Although for me it was easy, I learned through my research that for my ancestors, it was not so easy. Some of my ancestors had many obstacles to overcome, and to them, I'm forever grateful. They did it for me, and they did it for my family. You too have done it, and it will be something you have worked hard for, but your family will reap the benefits for generations to come. What an unselfish thing for you to do. It is not easy leaving your family and stepping foot into another country, another way of life, far from what you are used to. I can understand why you did it. America, the land of the free, home of the brave. Whatever your reason, the main thing is you did it, and the hard part is behind you now. You have climbed to the top of that mountain, and you survived. You have accomplished a major goal. You have done it not only for yourself, but for your family, and for the future generations that will follow. What will they say about you? One thing for sure is they will be proud of you, as I am proud of my ancestors. I say for me it was easy, but I have looked into the eyes of my maternal grandfather, a World War II veteran. He didn't speak much about the war. Instead, he told me how proud he was of my grandmother. He said she had to raise their children without him, including that she buried their son while he was at war. He suffered being away from his family while at war and had many things he had to endure, both physically and mentally, so we can enjoy our freedom. He was one of the bravest men I will have ever known. My paternal grandfather, although not a veteran, but a hardworking man, as a child, he endured great fear. He was just a small child when his family was hiding and escaping from cruel and unjust men from the country they had come from. They wanted to escape and come here to be truly free of the tyranny they endured. Unfortunately, my great-grandfather did not manage to escape to freedom. Instead, he was captured in the attempt and killed. Through his sacrifice, his family made it here, unharmed, but without their father. Those are the hardships they went through so I could enjoy my freedom. Again, I say, what a very unselfish thing to do. I challenge each and every one of you to share your story, to write it down, to tell about the mountains you have climbed and the valleys you have crossed, the heartaches, the victories. What you have done is an amazing task, and you should share it. It may not seem necessary for you to do so now, but your story is now a part of history. And it is not only important to each of us, but to those who follow us. When I did my research, I wondered why. I searched for the answers, and I found the following quotes in the article published by The Guardian. I wanted my children to have access to the best education. I knew that I could dream bigger and work hard to achieve them in this country. America has always been about acceptance and liberty to be who you want to be, and we must continue to fight for those values. I was proud to be in a room full of every possible race and ethnicity. America, its diversity, and its acceptance of anyone who comes with dreams and good intentions. I would like to leave you with quotes by former Presidents Ronald Reagan and George W. Bush. Former President Reagan wrote, "I received a letter just before I left office from a man. I don't know why he chose to write it, but I'm glad he did. He wrote that you can go to live in France, but you can't become a Frenchman. You can go to live in Germany or Italy, but you can't become a German or an Italian." He went through Turkey, Greece, Japan, and other countries. But he said anyone from any corner of the world can come to live in the United States and become an American. Former President George W. Bush wrote, "It says something about our country that people around the world are willing to leave their families and their homes and risk everything to come to America. Their talent and hard work and love of freedom have helped make America. And our generation will ensure that America remains a beacon of liberty and the most hope-filled society this world has ever known. Thank you for being our inspiration and for making America even better through addition of your experiences, beliefs, and love for life. I commend each and every one of you. You are now an American with freedoms and rights, but the most beautiful freedom of all is the freedom to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. May God bless each and every one of you on your new journey as an American citizen. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Panetta. And now I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Mike Sullivan. Mr. Sullivan is here today representing U.S. Senator Martin Heinrich's office, where he serves as the State Outreach Director. Sir, the stage is yours.
It's a pleasure to join the National Park Service, USCIS, Judge Armijo, and others as we welcome our country's newest citizens here in one of our nation's oldest historic landmarks. First, I'd like to say congratulations. This is your day. Today's a great step forward in your lives and also for our country. Each of you is part of the heritage and promise of America. We are not Americans just because of an oath or a piece of paper. We are Americans because of an idea. The idea of freedom and equal opportunity. That idea has brought millions to our shores and our borders for over 200 years. It has defined who we are. In New Mexico, we celebrate our diversity. We treasure our immigrant traditions. It is a part of who we are. It's a part of our identity. We are called the land of enchantment, not just because of our beautiful landscapes, like this special place where we are today, but also because of our people. We have a blend of cultures like nowhere else. We understand the strength this brings to our state and the contributions persons from every background make to our communities. Citizenship is a great privilege. It's also a great responsibility. As your U.S. Senators, we hope you will make your voice heard. Congratulations again. Good luck in your future as citizens of our nation, and thank you for allowing us to be a part of this great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. Your Honor, may it please the court. The Citizenship and Immigration Service is pleased to present 10 applicants for United States citizenship representing 4 countries. Your Honor, each applicant has been examined by a designated adjudication officer and has exhibited a sufficient knowledge of the English language unless exempt. They have been found to be of good moral character, subscribing to the principles of the Constitution, and well disposed to the good order and happiness of the United States. The Citizenship and Immigration Service is pleased to announce that upon taking the oath of allegiance, these applicants will become citizens of the United States. Your Honor, we request that all applicants requesting name changes be concurrently granted. Thank you, Your Honor. And now I'd like to present Judge Christina Armijo to the stage now.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome the guests who are here today, the new citizens, and especially your friends and your family who are here, because they are here because of you, on account of you. I'm not used to having, I'm going to ask you to hold this for 1 second. I won't talk, so you don't have to do anything. 1 second. Sorry. I'm used to the courtroom that has a stationary microphone, and that's all right. That's all right. As was noted by Mr. Sullivan, citizenship is a privilege, and it is a privilege that should never be taken for granted, ever. And with the privileges of citizenship that now bind all of us here today, so too come the responsibilities that each and every one of us must undertake and acknowledge. The responsibilities of citizenship now handed to each of you, ladies and gentlemen, require that you confront and meet each of life's challenges by recognizing that we all here, we are all part of the solutions to the challenges that may confront us throughout life's journey. Today, I wish to challenge each of you here to let your commitment to your community begin the fulfillment of your responsibility to citizenship. Exercise your right to vote. Let your voice be heard. Let it be counted. Extend the hand of friendship and greeting to those fellow citizens who are elderly, who are alone. Lend the hand always to those less fortunate. To those of you here who are mothers and fathers, uncles and aunts, sisters and brothers, I encourage you to take the time to reach out to your family members and mentor them. Bring them along on your life's journey. And to those of you here today who have the very good fortune of having a mother, a father, an elder in your life, embrace their efforts as they seek to mentor you. And with special emphasis, I ask that you reach out to the children and to the youth in our society. Let them know that you can make a difference, a positive difference in their lives. Teach them and learn from them. Become involved in their lives. Take time to volunteer at school. Share with them always the wisdom and the traditions of your own unique family histories. For I think we all know that while our children and our youth in our society represent a very small percentage of the population, they are 100% of our future. Remember them always. And do these things not just one time, but again and again and again, by incorporating what may be seemingly simple gestures like these into your life's journey. You not only honor the privilege of citizenship, but you fulfill your responsibility of citizenship. I wish to share with you briefly my family's journey to this great state of New Mexico, the land of enchantment. My family's journey began many generations ago during the Spanish colonial period of our American Southwest. And my ancestors were early Spanish settlers who persevered in the beautiful high mountain country of northeastern and northern New Mexico. In 1846, you're going to learn some history here. I'm a historian by my second career. The land that we know today as New Mexico was made a territory of the United States, and it was not until 1912 that New Mexico achieved statehood, becoming the 47th state in the Union. And I want to share a very personal memory that my grandmother had of the time that New Mexico became a state, and of the time that all of its people then were made an equal part of the Union of the United States, and of the time that people achieved the full rights of citizenship, the same full rights of citizenship that each of you have achieved here today. My grandmother was born in Las Vegas, New Mexico. We know that's the first Las Vegas, established in 1837. She was a young girl of about 15 years old at the time of statehood in 1912. These are her words that she recorded not too long after that. She said, after the Constitutional Convention was held in Santa Fe and the proposed New Mexico Constitution was approved by the general election held in January of 1911, she said there was much general rejoicing and celebration, and what remained was the approval of the new Constitution by the Congress of the United States, and this finally took place in August of 1911. She wrote on to say, I very well remember how Las Vegas and people in the community celebrated, knowing that the Constitution was approved and we would now become full-fledged citizens of the United States. She said, I remember the ringing of the church bells, the ringing of the bells at the fire department, the blowing of the whistle at the old railroad roundhouse, also the whistles blown by the train engines. All of this occurred when news reached Las Vegas that Congress had approved the Constitution that had been drafted. She wrote, I also remember the speech making in the old park, the old plaza, and the evening torchlight parade as people marched very quietly, very silently by candlelight from the old plaza to the railroad roundhouse and back. These are my grandmother's recollections that she shared with me about how she and her family became full-fledged citizens, as you here today have become. Each of you, ladies and gentlemen, honor us at this time in our history. And I hope that you and your families will establish very proud and very deep roots in our great state of New Mexico. A state that has been mentioned is respectful of its traditions and respectful of the wisdom of its many elders, and whose people, we know, are as diverse as the beautiful landscape that arises each day that you see when the sun comes out. It is my pleasure and my honor to always preside at naturalization ceremonies, and especially to share this special day with you today. Thank you so much. I would like the scouts, if they are here, to come and be present. All right, now I'm going to administer the oath of citizenship. All right, if you would all please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince or potentate, state or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen, that I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by law, that I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by law, that I will perform work of national importance under civil direction when required by law, and that I take this obligation freely
and I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations to each of you. I administered an oath one year at in Albuquerque at the convention center, and there were probably 200 new citizens and many guests and family members, and we ran out of seats in the audience. But there were a few empty seats up on stage, so the mistress of ceremonies invited all the children to come up and sit on the stage so we could free up some chairs. And one of those was my great niece. Her name is Paz. She was 5 years old at the time. She came up and took a seat. So when I came up to administer the oath and asked everybody to stand and please raise their right hand, she stood and she raised her right hand. She repeated every sentence in phrase of the oath. I think she's a solid citizen now. All right, please join me, please, in the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'd like the Scouts. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. You may be seated.
I am so proud of you. You did it. You succeeded. You're here. You are present here and visible, but your journey here is mostly invisible. The length and the difficulty. I have friends and acquaintances who are naturalized citizens, and they've told me stories. I listened to an interview with Sofia Aptekar, when she published her book, The Road to Citizenship, in 2015. I'm sorry if your journey was as hard as theirs. It's an imperfect world full of imperfect people and imperfect things. It would have been tough enough if people were perfect. Sometimes imperfect people make things more difficult, and I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that. I'm glad that you kept putting one foot in front of the other and that you kept going in the face of the frustrations, and now you're here. If you'll indulge me, a sad story that goes to my credibility of knowing what a tough journey this is. Not everyone succeeds. My favorite niece found herself studying abroad in Ireland. She met an Irishman. They fell in love and got married. He came back to the United States with her, and he did not succeed in achieving citizenship. So they moved to Canada, and he did not succeed in achieving Canadian citizenship. They came back to the United States not realizing how severe the consequences would be. He was detained and deported back to Ireland. Their marriage did not survive. And I hope none of you has ever had to or ever will have to endure the frustrations of an international divorce. But this is a joyous occasion. You did succeed. Without even trying, you've given me, applause. You've given me two wonderful gifts. You've given them to all of us, but I want to be the one to thank you. Your persistence against hard odds is inspirational. And I hope the next time I'm faced with something difficult, I can remember your faces and how hard you worked and that you did succeed against difficult odds. And for that, I thank you. Second, your presence here today shines a bright, glorious light on American citizenship. I don't appreciate it enough. Almost none of us born here do. Today, I appreciate it. And with any luck, that appreciation will last. And for that, I thank you. Congratulations, welcome to Quarai, and I hope you'll come back just for fun.
This would be a fun place to come back and memorialize your naturalization ceremonies, huh? So we have another guest speaker. Our last guest speaker for today is Sheriff Martin Rivera. Sir, the stage is yours.
The United States is made up of immigrants and Native Americans. That pretty much sums it up. Some immigrants left their home countries to escape persecution, starvation, overbearing government, and general threatening conditions. Others left for better opportunities and wages in the workforce. Whatever the reason, everyone came looking to better their lives. While the United States is the greatest country on earth, it is not without flaws. You will see that there are still people that struggle. Some struggle because they have no choice. Others choose to be in the situations they are in. The important part is that you will have a choice to do what you want as long as you follow the laws. You now will have the responsibility of being a citizen of the United States of America. You will support and defend the United States Constitution. This single document gives the power to the people and does not allow the government to become tyrannical. It gives you a voice. Your voice can be as meek or as strong as you wish. Make sure you use your voice wisely, for your voice could impact the nation negatively and positively. If you came for freedom and equality, use your voice to ensure that others will have the same opportunity. Make sure that what you work so hard for is never taken for granted. Make sure that you fight for the freedoms you were granted on this day. Thank you and welcome to the United States.
Thank you to all of our guest speakers today. And now we have a special message from the President of the United States.
It is with great pride that I welcome you into the American family. No matter where you come from or what faith you practice, this country is now your country. Our history is now your history, and our traditions are now your traditions. You enjoy the full rights and the sacred duties that come with American citizenship. Very, very special. There is no higher honor. There is no greater responsibility. You now share the obligation to teach our values to others, to help newcomers assimilate to our way of life, and uplift America by living according to its highest ideals of self-governance and its highest standards. All Americans are your brothers and sisters, and each of us must do our part to keep America safe, strong, and free. America is our home. We have no other. You have pledged allegiance to America, and when you give your love and loyalty to America, she returns her love and loyalty to you. We share one American heart and one American destiny. It is a destiny filled with love, opportunity, and hope. We celebrate this day. We welcome you into our national family. We applaud your devotion to America, and we embrace the wonderful future we will have together. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
Cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. There's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Myra Amaya Rivera. Gulshan Parashir. Peter Hoffner. Cindy Tarango. Javier Morales. Jacqueline Saucedo Olivares. Jose Rosales Saldana. Melissa Saraste. Amy Corona. Analia Morales. Great. Congratulations to everyone. We can have a round of applause. You may all be seated. For those of you who requested name changes, those name changes are being approved right now.
With pleasure.
I'm Tom Betts. I'm the superintendent here at Salinas Pueblo Missions. Congratulations. Thank you. It's always an honor for us to host this ceremony. We enjoy working with USCIS. We also enjoy working with all of our local folks. We've got Rotary back there helping us. We've got our Friends group helping us. We've got Boy Scouts. we've got local singers. We've got a lot of people that participate in this because they believe that this is a very worthwhile thing, and we hope that we've made this ceremony a little more special for you. So to that end, before everybody leaves, normally at the end of this thing, it gets to be like herding cats, all right? So everybody's trying to get out of here. So after we retire the colors, there's a couple of things that are gonna happen. We want the new citizens to come with us. We're gonna go get a photograph of all of you together with the ruins in the background. During that time, our crew will break down the stage area, because once we come back from the photograph, we have the honor of a very nice, wonderful dance troupe from Isleta del Sur here to give you a performance and show you local culture about what this area is about. And Isleta del Sur, they came from here. They came from Quarai. They're now down out of El Paso. So it's an honor for us to have them here. We don't want you to rush off. All right. We also have Rotary has provided cake and refreshments back here. Ah, yeah, there you go. See there? So while it will be kind of a mixed bag here for a little bit, we'll get everybody together and then we'll come back in and we'll enjoy the performance by Isletas del Sur. All right. And again, my congratulations and thank you for everybody who has helped our crew, the Friends group, the Rotary, everybody, you know, we appreciate so much. We couldn't do it without everyone. So thanks everybody for their help.
Color guard, forward march. Color guard, retrieve the colors. Color guard, reform. Color guard, retreat. Color guard, halt. Color guard, dismiss. Audience dismiss.
You may all be seated. From the staff of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, I would like to congratulate each of you on your accomplishments, wish you luck in your pursuit of the American dream, and thank your family and friends for their support. We look forward to each of our new citizens making their unique contribution to the greatness of the United States. Now let's give another robust round of applause for our newest citizens.
Beautiful sight because of drought around the year 1675. That's over 340 years ago. Over 340 years ago, there was a revolt here in New Mexico where all of the pueblos united and they successfully fought and defeated the Spanish. And as the Spanish were retreating to El Paso, they captured our ancestors, and we were forced down to the El Paso area, and that's where we lived ever since. We've been living in El Paso for a little over 300 years, but we consider this place our home. It's always an honor to come up here and pray in the language that our ancestors taught us how to pray. Like I said earlier, my name is Rick Quesada, and I'm the Director of Cultural Preservation. I have a couple of dancers who are going to be doing a couple of social dances for you. And once again, from the bottom of my heart, I would like to congratulate each and every one of you. Thanks a lot, and welcome to the American Dream.
all of the songs are done in our language, which is Southern Tiwa, and we're paying homage to the buffalo. Historically, our ancestors hunted buffalo here to the east of Quarai. Some of our kachina masks, which are held in high regard, are made out of buffalo skin. So this is why we honor the buffalo. I will thank you.
This social dance, as well as others similar to it, was performed upon the completion of community projects, such as the cleaning of the ditches in early spring and preparation for irrigation of crops and other community accomplishments. Our next dance is a Pueblo two-step. Pueblos. The butterfly, represented by the waving of the feathers, symbolically flutters over the crops as a sign of good harvest. The accompanying dancers act as an honor guard to our friend the butterfly and pay tribute to this beautiful wonder of nature. Our next dance is the butterfly dance.
interweaving a multicolored belt symbolizes the unity and harmony of the forces of nature. Our next dance is a belt dance.
sometimes even dance. The basket dance, as it will be performed, represents the women cleaning the harvest of grain and corn while singing and dancing, giving thanks to the great bounty of Mother Earth. Our next dance is the basket dance.
American eagle, which is respected and honored by our Pueblo people for its beauty, power, and its messenger to the Creator. In this dance, the dancer attempts to imitate this great and powerful bird of prey while it flies to the earth, symbolically communicating with the earth, sky, and people. Our next dance is the eagle dance. Then came the weekend when all the people of the tribe came together and danced just to dance. This dance is one of the most popular dances among all Indian nations and is suitably named the social round dance. This dance is open to anyone who would like to come and participate. Please come and join us and form in the circle of life and peace. Come join us as our friend and as our guest. Would you guys like to come dance with us?
In our language, that means let's go. Let's go.